World of YouTube out here, and we're over in Leominster again, returning to the lake that once was and was filled in over here on Lake View Street. And the reason why I'm doing this video today is to enter another drive-by and search. Well, the search I've already found, but drive-by through my new evidence that I have that there is a triangle just like the Bridgewater triangle here within the Mount Wachussett area, which I am calling the Wachussett Valley Triangle. We are now heading along Route 117. Like I said, over here in this area. And we had just passed the bar that a man claimed that he saw Bigfoot not too far, which that is up on my videos on YouTube. Monster Land it is called, and that's where it's got its name from. But I just want to, there's reason to me to believe that not only the Nipmucks lived along this Nashua River Way, but there is a street called Pennacook, which is back where on long Route 117 here that we just passed. But like I said, today I'm going to show you why I believe I have found myself my own triangle. Now, this is not documented in books nor any type of, history. Due to all the searching and looking up I have done, this is my thoughts and theories. And as we come up along this set of lights, and as you look to your right, you see a bunch of trees, pine trees, all sorts of hills, but up the way is a entrance with power lines off this road, which it is called Willard Street. But along in this wilderness of woods was the passageway and entrance to Monster Land, which is now Walmart, and which is where the guy claimed he had saw Bigfoot. And when he came back here to get his evidence to prove to everybody at that bar we passed, the yellow bar, it's called Miranda's now, I don't know what it was back in the day. The cops were called, he called the cops himself, but when everybody told him where he had went back to the site over here off a jungle road. Like I said, all this right here used to be Monster Land, and it is now, of course, available for you have a new supermarket, Walmart, Tractor Supply, and everything. Like I said, the guy went over there, the police went over there to look him up, and he was nowhere to be found. His car was left running on where he'd seen the massive man known as Bigfoot, man, beast, whatever it is. But the journey also begins of mine, and that's why I have created this triangle. Because not even a stone away from this area, which would be Shoalin Farms, which I have that video up too, of the road and lake pretty much down the road from it, where it's still a public swimming hole where people still swim at. I don't know, I don't know why, but they call it a Wiki Tiki or some wiki weird ass name, but there too had been a 1984 sighting of Bigfoot. As we drive along this road, Route 117, as you can see, we are passing Route I-90 into Worcester. Soon to be in Lancaster. Now, Lancaster is a very huge area of Indian stomping grounds. Of course, I'm going to show you why. And that's why I believe also my triangle exists. Because up here, you're going to be passing a road which leads to Bloodtown Forest. Bloodtown Forest was donated by Arthur Blood back in the 30s, I believe. And people have claimed, of course, that the woods are haunted by him killing and murdering people. But if that was the case, why would the guy donate the land and not getting taken and being sentenced to jail? Because they claim, of course, they couldn't prove evidence of bodies or whatever, but supposedly he killed people and hung them and blah, 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 buried them. But in another video I have called the Bloodtown Forest, I explain, briefly go over here where this truck is pulling out. That is the Brockleman Road, and that is where the entrance of the Bloodtown Forest is, that they claim is haunted. But of course, everybody thinks this guy did things, but lo and behold, this Bloodtown Forest once ruled of Indians. And the only reason why I say that is because where we will be going, which I have gotten some info to, which I believe once we'll be passing over a bridge. Well, actually I can't go that far, but 7 Bridge Road will be passing. And that too, supposedly having Indian burial grounds. But someone had told me on a video I made, commented, but that I don't know how, because he claims he sees white stones there, and white stones would be settlers like the Shakers or other, settlers, because Indians did not use headstones for burial. They used rocks, and they piled them up into like an ice cream cone form, looking thing. It looked like an ice cream cone upside down. That's how you would know if you found one, but I had found one in these woods, and oh, look, birds flying. Yes, they all fly through here. The crows, there is the red-tailed hawk flying over me once again. Because these woods are deep with Indian souls. Because I have reason to believe the King Philip War also took place in Bloodtown Forest. A lot of battles. Or a battle. One of the two. And I have found stones, which I cannot say where, but I have pictures of a cone shape with trees growing out of it now, but I wouldn't want to say exactly where, because it is in the Bloodtown Forest. But one would not see any. I wouldn't want not to see someone digging it up. But yeah, I mean, this place is infested with Indian travels. And as you can see here, we come with our first open field, which people learn. If you want to learn about the Indians, you learn about them. They always hunted in open fields looking for, wild. And here we have the Nashua River right here going over the bridge. Someone has claimed that they know of something out there buried, calling it Indian stuff, but I can't, right now say that's I can't say it's accurate. I'm sure this person knows it, tells the truth. But I mean, if I get there, would love to get there to find it, see what it looks like. But more open fields as we're passing. Now, mind you, over here, Route 70, along this road, of course, is a field in government property owned by, out that distance, owned by the government of Fort Devens, and it's a training base. You are not allowed to be in. Don't ever get caught in there. But all this was open field at one time, and here we come along, more open fields. We are now going to be entering. This is still Lancaster, mind you. And as you can see, these open fields are known for Indian traveling. And why am I 100% sure of this and showing this? It's due to the fact that we'll be going down George Hill Road, where George Hill is. You are not allowed to be there either, but I figured that out. That Indian used to live on George Hill, and it is a steep hill with grassy area on top of it. Now there's a water tank that sets upon it. So, but looking over here, as you can see, I mean, all this was once open area. Of course, you have old schools like over here. And why do I put this in my video as my triangle? Due to the fact that you have Bigfoot sightings, Indians, dwellings, and also haunting activities, which all are in the Bridgewater triangle. Especially the college will be passing up here on the right, which is known to be haunted also. So there's a lot of stuff in for it to be known if this college is even built on Indian burial grounds. That would be a, you know, an interesting thing to find out. But I can almost guarantee, due to the Indians, the Nashua River will be passing over once again, soon to be in Clinton. And that's another thing. A lot of the activities in my triangle all lead back to the Wachussett mountain area. All these routes you drive on, you can either see or get to Wachussett mountain, no problems. And they claim that Indians over there, more fields, like I say, they claim that Indians and all these routes, Route 2, Route 190 route, all these routes once had been Indian trails, whether it be on the side of the road or the trail itself. They were all there. They were made on trails that Indians made and walked through. Just like right now we're en route. In the fields, in the cliffs, mountains. You guarantee you go on one of these mountains out back of all this, and you could see Mount Wachussett clear as day. If there's no trees ingrown like there have been. But here we are at the college where I will be taking a trip down through, and this is George Hill Road. No claims of George Hill being haunted with a madman, axe, hatchet, running down the hill. I can guarantee that's not a madman. That's an Indian protecting its dwelling. And I'm for damn sure, as you can see here, the schools, the college, some buildings made. This was all once Indian dwelling. Of course, the Nashua River runs down the street. We passed it. And I think it runs up through somewhere along here. This is all reservation land, conservation land right here. As you can see, the big slope hill where Indians used to use to look for travel, for lookouts and stuff. It's all documented, but a lot of this stuff that I come up with is not documented, and that's why I'm running these videos. So, once again, now we turn, continuing on George Hill. More open fields, as you can see. More farmlands over here. And this is how Indians used to live. And this is how they travel. I mean, right now, this road we live on, and up there, as you can see that, finish that question in a minute. You see over there in the distance is a telephone tower, cell tower. You don't know, you might not be able to see it, but if you can in the distance, that's George Hill throughout the cheese. Like I said, I recommend not to go up there. There's a house up there if anybody gonna think they're gonna find something, because I don't think they will. You'll get in trouble. But George Hill is off to my left. Of course, all this over here, still more fields, more hills, more dwelling. And this is why I'm making these videos, to show you how on apple orchard. That's a key thing too, and with Indians and farmers back in the day, whether they planted it themselves or they were here when the Indians, and they, learned about it, whatever it may be, it was all here in Sedgwick. Over here we have a guru place. And this is built in the Bloodtown Forest. This place was actually for sale, but I don't see the sign up no more. First I thought it was an asylum, but it is not. It was actual guru place for, what? Oh, if anybody knows what gurus are, for massage therapy stuff. And you ain't gonna believe, but Michael Jackson, George Harrison, and Liz Taylor once accommodated this building over here, which is tucked very way back in the woods. I think someone has now bought the property, but it is in the Bloodtown Forest area. I can just imagine what they get in there, but here's one of their buildings, like a bathhouse or something, or with something, or a gym or something. When entrances to the woods, entrances to this place, and there was a bunch of buildings. I looked it up, and like I said, it once held like them celebrities. George Harrison one time was seen at a convenience store down in Lancaster, or Clinton, either or. But as you can see, as we're going through this tunnel of trees, a lot of these trees are pine. Like I said, stomping grounds for Indians used to be the pine trees, because bad weather like this, Indians would be looking for animals that were sheltered under the pine trees, which if you see them, they do hold snow. So in winter was a time where, finding food was very scarce. But as you see, we do go along this journey. It's just taking us into this trail and trip, the past, and why I use it in my Wachussett Valley Triangle. Lo and behold, you go that way out in the woods, you will run into Brockleman. That's the road we're heading down now, but you will head right to, and so forth, right into Mount Wachussett, and that's where I start my triangle at. But here we are on Brockleman Road, and over here, like I say, to the right, is still all Bloodtown Forest.